Hello everyone, my name is Pam Nacpil and this is The Moving Truth with Pam. My guest today is someone I met probably around 6 months ago. And when I first saw her, I felt like I wanted to be friends with her. I kept on bugging her for things, being nosy, but here we are. So please introduce yourself, Shruti.
Hello guys, I'm Shruti and I work with HCL Tech Canada. However, I work for a company called IGT Solutions, which I think most of the Moncton folks are well aware of. I work as a project manager in the software side for the company, and so far I have been here for almost 2 years.
2 years?
Yes.
But, okay, I won't ask before that where, but let's start from the beginning. So when did you arrive in Canada, Shruti?
2023 December.
2023 December, okay.
Yeah.
Before then, where were you?
I was in Mexico for...
What?
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you would say India, because
India.
that's where you're from, right? So,
Yes.
okay, so not India, Mexico.
I was in Mexico for a year, almost a year.
Almost a year.
Yes.
And before Mexico.
I was in India.
Okay,
Yes.
so what were you doing in India, and suddenly why were you in Mexico and then
and
to
why
Canada?
was it-
Okay, tell us the story.
So it starts way back in like 2021
Okay.
when I shifted my job into HCL. That's when I got an opportunity with IGT.
Okay.
And the project was basically for IGT, and I started out like a tech writer there.
Okay.
But then I was given a project, and I believe that I performed well, so I got
I
an
think so.
opportunity. I got an opportunity to get into the project management field. So the work basically wanted me to kind of like coordinate with teams from like
Okay.
US, Canada. I was even coordinating with the teams in Australia,
Okay.
also in Mexico.
But you were in India when when this thing
When I
started.
started,
And
yes.
how long were you with your company? Well, still your company now. How long were you with them how long were you working with them?
So it's
For
been
now?
almost 4.5, 5 years close
Okay.
to, so next June I'll be completing 5 years.
Wow. And before that, what were you doing?
So before that I was working for a manufacturing company.
Okay.
It's a German-based
Okay.
company. So I was working there with
But
a
it's
similar...
IT?
It's not IT, but I did work on the software side of it. Like
Okay.
for the product, it was more product specific. So
Yeah.
we are having direct customer facing kind of, the work. So I did manage quite differently. The projects were managed quite differently there.
The way it is now. Okay.
Yes,
But it's
so
project management.
It
in a
is
way.
kind of project management, yeah,
Okay.
because they call you more as a business executive.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, so kind of had a really very short time. I would say I just had like 2.5 years of my experience out there in that company, and then I switched. Due to some personal reasons, I had to switch back.
Okay.
So I moved into this new company, and it's been
Still
almost 5
5
years,
years,
and
wow.
I'm enjoying.
So, but when you started for this company, did you ever think you'd go out of India and be assigned somewhere else? Was
No.
that the...
No way.
Okay.
So I did have a goal, like if destiny or if the fate decides that I go out, I would definitely prefer that. But I do want to say something here. So when I was like, I just graduated,
Okay.
I completed my engineering degree. That's when I decided kind of like to go abroad, do my
Okay.
master's, study there, and get a job and settle out
So
there.
did you do your master's?
Yes, I
Where?
did, but not
Abroad?
anywhere abroad. I did it back in India
Okay.
itself. It was with a great hustle because I was working.
And then you
I
were
was
doing your
also
master.
working, yes, and then I had to study for it, and then I had to convince my parents, like, guys, it's not gonna be too risky. Let me take this.
I did study my master's in business. complete with 2 pregnancies.
Oh,
so
wow.
it took me longer than
Wow.
ever to
So
do
yeah,
it. So yeah,
mine
No,
wasn't
no, no.
that critical. So I appreciate that. So
Okay.
it wasn't critical in terms of like doing, managing every stuff there, but it was critical in this terms that how do you convince everybody around who's like looking for something that you would be doing, excelling in. So they were kind of a bit hesitant because I had a good job as a developer,
Okay.
as a software developer. And I was not too much interested into coding, to be honest. And so I was more of this people person because I knew I could, talk to people, relate.
Yes, yes.
You know the
Yeah, yeah.
like interactions we had, like, so I'm more of that person, and that's when I was torn between like, do I be an HR or do I be a person who represents the customer, like a friend facing, and that's when like I got multiple opinions and feedback, and I was like, let me go with my gut.
And like Asian
So-
families, they have
Exactly.
opinions.
Exactly.
don't know
Everybody you see is probably giving you, oh,
Yeah,
why did
you
you
should-
leave your job? Like,
Oh, yes.
So
Yeah, everybody has an opinion. I don't know about Canadian culture, but Asian families, and it's not just your family, right?
Right.
It's the
I think-
extended family.
yes, billions of people.
Especially in India. Okay.
Exactly.
So you decided to take your master's, and then you were with your company in India.
Yes.
So how did it happen that you were assigned in Mexico? I'm sure there are like
Oh.
1,000 employees. And how did Shruti become assigned to Mexico?
It was so when I started working for the project like the software projects, my times were really odd. I used to do the graveyard shift, what you call like I used to work from like evening 8 to morning
So
5.
you were like a call center.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you gotta take meetings. You gotta organize meetings. You gotta talk to people during that time when people sleep.
Okay.
It was kind of taking because I had health issues coming in, developing in around that
Yeah.
time, and I did not feel really good about it. So I kind of proposed to my HCL employer, like, is it fine if I just move in there because
Wow.
whole of my team sits there. So at that point I had issues with my visa for Canada, so
Okay.
the nearest on-site of
Okay.
was for me to go to Mexico. That's when I decided
Okay.
like I've been taking care of my the whole shift basically for almost a year and a half.
Okay, so they
Now
know
it's-
you.
Yes.
They know you. You know what's happening. You know the team. So they agreed to send you to Mexico.
Yes.
How was that transition from India to Mexico? Of course, the times were better, right?
Yes, it was my very first time going out
Abroad.
of India.
Oh,
yes,
wow.
that was the first abroad experience.
And you were going to live there, leave your
Yes.
family.
Yes.
How
but
scared were
I
you?
am not. I'm not too. I was not too scared of the part that leaving the family and going because from the age of 17, I've been out.
Okay.
Because I come from an island in India.
There are islands in India.
Yes. Yes.
It's
So,
like a big country to me.
it's a big country, but it is not very close to the mainland. It's
Okay.
almost like 2,000 kilometers away
Wow.
from the mainland.
So-
it's close to Indonesia,
Oh,
actually. Yeah.
so island in a sense that it's tropical.
It's very tropical.
Well, that's probably a good transition that you went to Mexico,
Mexico,
first. Okay.
yes, right.
So how was Mexico life for you? And did you imagine the life you had there? How was it compared to being in India?
I would say it was similar in a lot of ways, but it was also different in a lot of ways.
Okay.
So the similarities that I felt was people,
Okay.
the food, the culture, people were like so friendly in terms of that.
Okay.
Like you would randomly see two people dancing on the
Wow.
footpath, like just like it's a pleasant day. You just go out and you
But
see them.
Indians like to dance too.
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about, like the similarities, So I see like so much of warmth there.
Yes.
Like you certainly can do something wrong, and I know like people are like, okay, they might just ignore you that way. because there are not much immigrants out there
Okay.
compared to what you see it out in
Yes,
Canada.
yes.
So for them also it's kind of like a different,
New.
yes, a new feeling altogether.
Were they welcoming? Were they?
They
How was the
were.
environment?
They were, but the only challenge that I found was in Canada, it's easier to talk in English and
Okay.
people understand what you're trying to
Mexico
communicate.
is more Spanish.
Yes. So I was like, poquito, poquito español, poquito, poquito, and that's all I learned through
Habla
entirely.
poquito español.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
It's a little bit of Spanish, guys. So that's how I managed.
So how long were you in Mexico?
Close to a year.
Okay.
Close to a year.
So, being in Mexico, didn't you want to stay there? What happened? Why were you shipped to Canada?
So yeah, there are good parts of being in Mexico, but there are also cons of staying in
Yeah.
Mexico because from the safety perspective,
Okay.
it's not too safe out there.
Okay.
I've been known like people getting looted from the
Okay.
ATMs and stuff, and so if you're in a group, you're
It's
probably
okay.
safe. So if you're alone or somewhere, if you're just going out for the grocery itself, you
Yeah.
need to be a bit alert and stuff
Okay.
like that. So that way, it's not really good. But when
Because you were alone.
exactly.
But like,
so
I felt that way back home because the Philippines is very, it's very modern. Like I'm sure, like most parts of India, very cosmopolitan, and there's a lot of, you know, rich but also a lot of poverty. So
Yes.
it was something that I felt. Was it something that you also felt back home that, you know, kind of, it's the same like how you felt in Mexico?
yes. So you also see like the rich side of people. So the place I worked in, like the office that was in Mexico, that was like a posh area. Like
Okay.
all the Gucci's and Pradas,
Oh, yes.
people would come there and buy stuff
Okay.
from there. But there was also places where we used to go to get like how you have the Friday markets, the Saturday
Okay.
markets, and you literally see out people
Yeah,
there. So there is, you know, face of both the sides of the
exactly,
coins. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So the safe issue is there.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
So how did it happen that you were okay living in Mexico? You were with your team. The time zones are better. How did you land in Canada? Who decided on that?
okay, again, it was my decision. So my
Okay.
initial decision was to go to Canada,
Okay.
but due to some visa issues,
Okay.
because you know when you go as an employee to a
Yes.
different country, the visa process is different in each
Okay.
country.
Because you were on probably a business employee
Yes.
visa.
So it's called like for Canada, it's more like a closed work permit.
Okay.
So I came in like a closed work permit. That means I can only be employed by so and so
Okay. Like
organization.
probably most of the like AIP, Atlantic Immigration Program, is sort of like
Exactly.
closed
Yes,
permit.
yes.
But your company wasn't based in Canada; they were based in India. So it's like you were being seconded.
No, so the company also has its headquarters here in Canada, in Toronto. So yes, they can do the intercompany transfer.
Okay.
It's basically like a ICT, how you
Okay.
have yeah. So that's how I came in here, and
So you suggested
yes,
to go to Canada.
Yes.
Why? Like why would you want to leave sunny Mexico for?
So I feel, this is my personal opinion. I don't know how many people can relate to this. I feel the more you travel around the world, the more you learn. You learn about different people, different environment, different culture. And trust me, I never saw snow before coming to Canada.
Yeah,
So 2 years back was the first time I experienced snow in
Okay,
my life.
we will talk about that, how you reacted. So you told your employer, is there a way I can go to Canada? Or did they suggest it?
So I initially proposed.
Okay.
I did have the talks with the team out here as well, and they all agreed that that would be the best decision for me to
Okay.
take. Also because, I did not meet my team for almost two and a half
Wow.
years of working with them, so I don't know who looks like what. And
Didn't you
now-
have the Sesame Street pictures on
So,
the TV
no,
screen?
Most likely people would put the cartoon pictures on.
So you don't really know what they look like. Okay.
Yes.
So you
Some
can't.
would look like the the dog
Snoopy.
character.
Yeah,
The Snoopy.
Snoopy.
Yes.
Not Snoop Dogg. Snoopy.
Not the Snoopy, yes, sorry. So some would look like that, some would look like some different creatures. So yeah, I really didn't knew like how people looked for a long, long time. And then once I came here, I had a lot of people like they came traveling through US here, and
Yeah.
I met them after like working for so
Wow.
long. So I've never seen them, and these things, you know, these opportunities came in because I decided to move here. So
Okay.
it is important when you work with, you know, multi diverse countries, like, you know, with different people, with different. It is so important to know who you
they are
work
working
with.
yeah.
Yes.
It's
So-
easy to say that, you know, it's okay, but, you know, having a face to the
Yes,
name,
to the name
and to the
matters.
emails
Yes.
really matter.
Yes.
So before arriving in Canada, what did you have to do? I mean, most people like us, we'd have to really, you know, uproot ourselves. Coming here, the starkest vision I have was being in the airport with 2 suitcases and a carry-on, and it was my entire life. I was leaving everything to be here. And at that point, I was leaving our kids back then. My husband and I were leaving our kids back then. Did you feel that way? Were you thinking that you were going to leave India, what you know, and then Mexico to go to Canada? Was it the end goal?
Okay, this might again sound like really interesting, but I stopped making plans in my life. To be honest, I don't make plans. I go with the flow, like what present holds, because the moment you try to think a lot more about the future, you spoil your present. So
Okay.
you know, I also used to do. I am not very regular, but I used to do yoga, and that gave me a lot of clarity on what you need to do. So I created short-term goals, which basically is gonna go into a long-term goal there.
Okay.
So my long-term goal was, you know, to be in a position where I can happily retire once I'm like.
That's a long-term goal.
Exactly.
Really
So
long-term
for
goal.
that, all the short-term goals need to align.
Okay.
And I need to get to learn a lot of stuff. That was my only goal.
So that was your immediate goal. So there was no, for you, a plan to like, I'm migrating. So it's not like as if, like, you know, us who really decided.
To migrate.
Yeah.
For me, yes, there was a plan to migrate, but I was more about like calculative, like, can I take this risk? Can I not take this risk? If I take this risk, what's the backup for that?
You're
So-
really a business analyst.
I know,
Okay,
right?
okay. Even in life, you apply it. Okay. So,
Yeah.
okay, moving to Canada, was it easy settling down? Because you're alone. You're alone.
No.
You knew names in the emails. How was transition from leaving Mexico? You just left India for Mexico less than a year. Now you're moving again. How did you get settled? Like, who helped you? Okay, I know you say you don't like to plan, but like you have to land here and probably need something.
So yes, again, that's a short-term plan for me. So then I did reach out to a few of my colleagues, and
Okay.
literally, I would say my colleagues have been really helpful on that note. Blessed, touch gold. But yeah, so they kind of guided me through like how to get in through, like initially getting a new place to stay, what's best for, you know, because
Yeah.
you're a new person, like a new person into a whole new country.
Yeah.
This was the first place I landed, you know.
Moncton.
Was the first
Really?
place I landed,
Okay.
yes, in Canada. So I've not even seen anywhere else
Okay.
until then.
Okay.
So they kind of guided me through what's good, what's not good. I took it.
Where to stay? Where's a
Where
good place to stay?
Yes, because initially it was all like, you know, oh my God, how do I reach office? Oh my God,
Yeah,
how-
exactly.
because the transportation had not been too good. Like you cannot reach
Well,
the office
even now.
directly, you know, with one single bus. So if you gotta stay in a place where you can reach the office in one single bus, That's the most
So
beautiful
is that
thing.
the way it is for you now? Can you reach the
No.
office? Oh,
Now, now I have been more accustomed to the surroundings here.
Transport.
So yes, so yeah, that's more better. But I would say, like, when people come in, be prepared. Look into all the logistics that's required when you move in here, because I've also seen people come with no plan, like literally no
No plan.
plan, and then
Didn't
they
even reach out, nothing. So they just
Nothing.
land and let's
just
que
let's-
sera sera
so
and let's see.
when I say I do not have a long term, like, I did not plan something, I planned for the present. Even for the present, you need a plan. Like,
Okay.
you need to know what you're going to do next.
Okay.
Right, that's more, I feel like that's more
Yeah.
important. So it
So
was,
even if you weren't planning, you were planning.
I was planning in the back. Yeah, it is like, I would not say like a fixed plan. Like
Yeah.
people would have, like, in the next 10 years, I gotta
So
build.
flexibility is it for
Yes,
you? Okay.
yes.
So
I would say not much of a, I would not go into a very risky business leaving everything behind.
Okay.
I would take my risk in the right proportion.
so
of
you're saying you're not like us. Just
I would
leaving
say it
everything
needs a lot
behind.
of- I would say, I really appreciate people who do that, because it takes a
it's-
lot of courage.
It's scary.
It's scary.
It's super scary. Like leaving everything, your career, everything
Everything,
behind.
yes.
Like I could
I could only
I
imagine.
yeah,
No. But for me, for people who are in kind of my position, who can try and get a chance, I would tell them, like, try it out from there,
Yeah.
see what are the opportunities, and then plan for next steps.
Okay.
Like when I
What-
came in here, my next step was, how do I make myself stable?
Okay.
Get a PR. That was
so
one of the
okay. So even if you weren't long-term planning, you knew that you wanted to stay. You
Stay.
knew you wanted to be a permanent resident.
Yes.
Okay. But your pathway is a little different. Like some people go through a student pathway,
Yes.
wherein they have to get all the money in the bank, get the parents' money, get everyone's money. I've heard people sell cows, sell pigs, everything, just to, and loan money to be able to go here via the student pathway. Or people who've saved a lot and left everything behind. So, I mean, financially, it wasn't that hard
Difficult.
for you?
Yes. So you actually raised a very good point. If I had to move all by myself, I had to put my family's money out there
Okay.
in risk. And I really didn't wanted to do that, because they have hard earned it,
Yes,
some other
yes,
way.
yes.
I wanted to do everything on my own, like be independent. And I've been independent for quite a long time now, so which
It
is what
wasn't hard for you.
it was.
Okay.
Exactly. So that's something like I was, thinking about, was mostly in terms of like, can I put everything at stake and
Yeah.
just go for the Canadian American dream?
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not something. I would want to go there with the appropriate risk that I could take in, but also try to plan something.
So in a way, you're managing your risks. Okay.
That's what project managers
Yeah,
do.
okay. So I guess I'm not one. Okay. We don't have much time, so I want to just ask, would you do it over again? Would you
Yes.
come, and what would you change differently?
So
What would you do differently?
what I would do differently, the one thing I would do differently is be well aware of the health.
Okay.
Yeah, that's something I did not take too much attention about.
Because you were young.
I was young. I
Yeah.
had all the powers in the world to, fight through. But yeah, as soon as you try aging, you need to be more.
Stop it.
I'm just like, I'm just saying, like, we don't know, like,
Yeah.
when the women body kind of just keeps growing with the age. So I felt like I did not take much attention there at that point of time. That's something I would like to
Do again.
do again before, if I have
Okay.
to move anywhere else. That's something I would always
And lastly,
think of.
what do you miss most about home?
Home, my family. Yeah, nothing else. I think everything you get everywhere, like, okay, maybe food, you get all the immigrants opening some new stuff. So you can either you
Yeah.
cook that or you go, or you, it's fine. You can go to places from here as well. Oh, if I just need to go and have like the island experience, can fly to Mexico,
go.
can fly to Dominican
Yeah.
Republic. I mean, it doesn't matter,
But family.
but family is something that I miss. And I think everybody can relate to that, right? Like
Yeah,
it's-
whether you're an immigrant or moving from elsewhere from Canada,
It's
family and
family.
the support is important.
Exactly.
And I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
You're PR now, so you know
Yes.
all the new exciting things to go with it.
Hopefully.
I'm sure it will be.
Fingers crossed.
With that, thank you so much,
Thank
Shruti.
you.
It's
Thank
been
you
a
so much.
pleasure having you. It's a different perspective of how to move to Canada, but it's a good perspective that there's other options out there.
Yes.
Not just through student, not just through, you know,
Yes.
AIP or whatever programs. And
Yes.
you've proven that today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. With that, that's the end of today, and we'll see you at the next The Moving Truth with Pam. Bye for now.